All right, good afternoon, councillors, staff and members of our public, and a special welcome to our Youth of the Month, Nicholas Gibson. So welcome, Nick. Please be advised that this council meeting is being recorded and live streamed. By speaking at this meeting, you agree to being recorded and live streamed. Please ensure that if and when you speak, you are respectful to others and use appropriate language at all times. Combined Council accepts no liability for any defamatory or offensive remarks or gestures made during the course of this meeting. The recording of this meeting will be made publicly available on Council's website. I'll call the first item, which is application for leave of absence. I have one from Councillor Rawson, who's not very well today. Other than that, we've got a full house. Can I have a move and a seconder? Councillor Poole, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Weaver. All those in favour? Against, carried. Item 2 is declarations of interest. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Nash, seconded by Councillor Poole. Does anybody have anything to declare? Councillor Batten.
I'm declaring interest in item 16 and 17, and we'll leave the chamber for both.
Thank you. Councillor O'Ryan. Okay, we've got Arts and Mag. Anybody else? Nothing else? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, carried. Item 3 is declarations for political donations. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Weaver, seconded by Councillor Jones. Does anybody have anything to declare? Nothing to declare either. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. All right, we'll just suspend the meeting for a short minute, and I'd like to now talk about our Youth of the Month. As I said, we've got Youth of the Month here today, Nicholas Gibson. So Nicholas is 23 years of age from Cumnock and was nominated by the Cumnock and District Progress Association. Nick, a young Cumnock man raised in the community, has always had a passion and a commitment to his hometown. Who hasn't? Good to see you with a passion, more passion. Having a can-do personal attitude and a passion and commitment to Cumnock, Nick has been involved in many levels, helping at community events run by the Cumnock Show Society, public school, Anglican church and sporting groups. Nick is often seen working with the older generation, having a caring and supportive nature. He sees great value in volunteering across the generations. Being raised on a farm, Nick has been immersed in agriculture from a young age, contributing to a merino sheep operation, having a great respect. Nick holds a Bachelor of Agribusiness with a major in finance, which earned him a place in the graduate program with the major bank. Nick also volunteers with Farming Futures as the Careers Fair Coordinator, working alongside over 80 agricultural companies, safeguarding connections between students and employees. Nick amplifies the value of hard work, community involvement, forward-thinking approach to the future of culture. On Council, Nick, I'd like to congratulate you on your achievements and present you with the Youth of the Month of July. Congratulations and thank you very much for what you're doing in our community. Thank you. Say a few words if you wish, but if you want to speak to one, good man. Yes.
I'd like to sincerely thank the Bond Council for the incredible honour of being named Youth of the Month of July. It's a privilege and I'm really honoured. Big thank you to the Commonwealth Progress Association for the nomination and everything you do for our community. Your efforts don't go unnoticed. They're deeply appreciated by everyone in Cumnock and the surrounding area. And a special mention to Peter Batten for everything that you do for Cumnock Turnout Association, listening to our queries and complaints, of course, and willing just to put your hand up and listen to us. And to the wider community of Cumnock, thank you. We are very fortunate to live in a place where where we all pitch in and support each other. We have a very strong community that help out, that make our events successful and keep our local traditions alive, ready to pass on to the next generation like myself. Very truly honoured. Thank you.
Very well said, Nick. I think we'll agree our future's in good hands, so thanks, Nick. All right, moving right along. Item 4 is the mayoral minute of appointments. Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming in. You find the meeting a bit boring? Thanks. All right, item 4, mayoral minute of appointments. I'll move that, and I've tabled a report. I think Councillor Jones has, I know Councillor Rawson has. Any others tabled? Councillor Batten's nodding. Thanks, Councillor Pearson. Anything else? Councillor Nash?
Oh, well, I just went to the Mardia meeting, and I did call in and have a look at the men's shed in Manilda, and I just want to say thank you to the councils for supporting the men's shed. They're a wonderful thing for men to do, to go and they don't do much work, I don't think, but it's all good for them, good for their mental health. So, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Well said. All right, there's nothing further. I just want to add a little something now officially in our meeting. As you know, all know that our very, very, very dear employee, Rebecca Johnson, this is her last council meeting. She leaves us on Thursday to seek employment with the Defence Force in Canberra. On behalf of Council, Beck, I'd just like to say an official thank you very much for your time here at Gabon. The work that you have done, and I've mentioned this before, but the work that you did in the floods with myself and the Deputy Mayor, your experience with dealing with the media, your experience with dealing with the politicians as they rolled in and out was invaluable. But not just that, the work you've done for the councillors and the running of your team has just been excellent, and which really then brings me to the fact that the amount of work that you've done with the community, I think the community is going to be the loser here, especially the amount of work and the satisfaction that you put back into the community has been a credit to you. I know that you enjoy challenges. Gabon has been a challenge. I think, we've said this before, I think if we didn't have a flood, you probably would have been gone earlier. Because you like a challenge, it's quite obvious, and we wish you all the best in your challenge with your new employment, which I'm sure you'll do fine and take it on front on. So, on behalf of Council, thank you very much, and please put your hands together with me and thank you. All right, anything further? All right, I'll put that, all those in favour. Against, carried. Item 5 is the mayoral minute, cost shifting on to local government report. I'll move that. Does anybody wish to speak to that at all? No? All right.
Yes, I would, Mr. Mayor. I think that, this is really good, and I think that we've got to keep pushing this with the government, that we just can't keep, having this cost. So I think that this is really good to have this in the mayoral minute, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's not, as I've passed comment before, this is a topic that's spoken about in a lot of mayoral forums, a lot of country mayors, local government matters. It's something that's happening more and more, and it's not just small regional councils having, it's happening across the board, regional councils and metropolitan councils. Unless you've got a strong own source revenue, your councils are struggling, so, and this doesn't help the cost shifting, so. Councillor Batten.
Yeah, thank you, Mr Mayor. If I just, support the comments from Councillor Nash, and also note in the recommendations, there's a link to the cost shifting report we placed on council's website so that communities can access it. I think it's critically important that our communities actually understand what this is about and what it actually means for them, in terms of how our rate money is used. The pressure that it places on every council in the state is just, critical that people understand that the cost. I mean, as a large regional or rural council, over $500 of every ratepayer's fees every year, our rates, goes to covering cost shifting. That needs to be, I think, addressed by the current government before we see all councils, including us, in a totally unsustainable position.
Correct. Well said. Any further comment? All right, well, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, carried. Item 6 is Committee of the Whole. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Nash, second by Councillor Batten. Does anybody wish to call any items into the Committee of the Whole? No? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, carried. Item 7 is confirmation of previous meetings minutes, which is the June ordinary meeting and the July committee meetings. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Weaver, second by Councillor Pearson. Anything on the minutes at all? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against, that's carried. Item 8 is the local government 2025 Local Government New South Wales Annual Conference. Can I have a mover and a seconder? We discussed. Thank you, Councillor Jones. Second by Councillor Nash. All right, the resolution is the Mayor and 2 delegates as observers. And bearing in mind we have myself and another as a voting delegate as well. So we really need to send a minimum of 2. But as has been indicated, that this conference is held on Tuesday the 25th of November, which happens to be a council meeting as well. So call for nominees for that.
The question, Mr Mayor, were we able to clarify, is Councillor Rawson going as chair of Central Tablelands Water?
I've made that inquiry and he is not going to go to the conference at all. So he's not going as delegate to CTW, and he said he's not going to go as a delegate for Cabal, doesn't wish to go as a delegate for Cabal. All right. So, now, just bear in mind, the report indicates that Councillor Batten and Councillor Pearson went last year. So we do normally switch it around. I know that Councillor Pearson has indicated and expressed an interest to go. However, in fairness, if another 2 want to go, I think we've got to look at that. We'll have to look at that initially. Yep. Yep. Yeah, thank you, Councillor Pearson.
I'll move Councillor O'Ryan be the alternate or be another delegate.
So we've got Councillor Nash and Councillor O'Ryan, yeah. Well, we can look at that closer if there's an issue. So the problem being now is that if there's 3 of us out, so myself and two delegates, whoever they should be, we need every other councillor here to form a quorum for the council meeting. So if somebody's sick, there's no meeting. But as we get closer, we don't need to make that decision now. we can opt to change the date of the meeting. But as we get closer.
I'll go unless someone else starts saying.
All right, how's this sound so far? That we have Councillor Ryan, who's been nominated and seconded, and Councillor Nash. And then we have Councillor Pearson as a reserve if you pull out, but then we'll have to look at a meeting issue and if you pull out, whether you still stay for the meeting. So we just got to be mindful of the meeting as we get closer, that's all. Everybody happy with that? So if something amiss with the three that are going, you're on the reserve bench, Councillor Pearson. Yep. Everybody happy with that? Righto. All right, well, I'll put that be the case. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 9 is the Circular Futures Forum, Innovating Sustainability in Regional New South Wales. Regional New South Wales. Thanks. The Deputy Mayor's moved that. Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Nash. Any discussion on that? Nothing? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Item 10 is the Draft Arts and Culture Collection Policy. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Ryan, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Any discussion on that? Be straightforward. All happy? I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Item 11 is the Audit, Risk and Improvement Committee reappointment of the independent members. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Poole. Discussion?
No, it's been clarified, Mr. Mayor. Just want to acknowledge that we are very fortunate to have three fantastic and committed and very thorough independent members on our ARIC committee. I note that in the recommendation, item 1 is to appoint Ms. Reigate as the chair for a 2-year term. I did ask a question regarding that before the meeting, just in terms of the 4-year term compared to the 2-year term, and my understanding is that that an independent member can only sit on an ARIC for 8 out of 10 years. So that's why, unfortunately, Ms. Reigate can only be with us for 2 more years, but she's done a fantastic job as chair. We're very lucky, and I think the benefit we get out of having our own ARIC has been immense. So thank you.
Thank you for that. Well said. Yep. Any further comment? All right. Well, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 12 is Integrated Planning and Reporting Operational Plan Half-Yearly Report 24-25. Move and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Weaver, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Any discussion on the IPNR? Oh. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 13 is Strategic Policy Register Review. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Jones, seconded by Councillor Nash. Any discussion on this at all? Nope. Straightforward. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 14 is Unspent Expenditure Revoted to 25-26 Budget. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Batten, seconded by Councillor Poole. Any discussion on that at all? Straightforward. No, thank you everybody. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 15 is the Cabon Event Sponsorship Program policy. Can I have a
mover and a second. Councillor Nash, thank you. Second by Councillor Jones. Any discussion on this at all? Yep.
Through you, Mr Mayor, yeah, I just wanted to say how clear it is. It's really good, and yeah, I think the people involved, which are, I dare say we know who they were, and it's very, very clear, so thank you.
Will said, yeah, it's, so it makes it more easy to understand and streamlines it a lot better. Well done. Any further comment? Nope. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Aye. Against? None? Carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 16 is the event assistance program, and Councillor O'Ryan and Batten declared an interest and are leaving the room. Can I have a mover on item 16, please? Mover and a seconder, sorry. Councillor Weaver, thank you. Second by Councillor Jones. Any discussion on the events assistance program sponsorship? Nope. All right. I'll put that. All those in favour? Aye. Against? That's carried. So Councillor O'Ryan can return. Councillor O'Ryan, that was passed as per the recommendation unanimously. Item 17, Councillor Batten has remained out. He declared an interest, so he's remained out of the room. And item 17 is the Village Enhancement Fund 25-26. Can I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Paul, thank you. Seconded by Councillor Weaver. Any discussion on item 17? Nothing? Straightforward? Happy, everybody? All right, I'll put that. All those in... Oh, sorry, Councillor Weaver.
Oh, no, I just wanted to say that I think they're very good projects that are coming up and well worth the expenditure.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, very well said. I agree totally. Yep. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you, everybody. Councillor Batten, items 16 and 17 were passed as per the recommendation unanimously. Item 18 is the Local Government New South Wales Water Management Conference 25. Move in a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Weaver, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Okay, the recommendation is attendance of the Mayor or his representative. Can I just have a standby if anybody would like to go if I'm unavailable at this stage? But now Councillor Rawson will be attending. I know this for a fact from representing CTW. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I'll go on standby. I probably understand it as much as anyone.
Thank you very much. All right. Any further discussion on that at all? All right. Well, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 19 is the 2025 National Local Roads Transport and Infrastructure Congress. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor Batten. And once again, probably the same. We just have a standby if for some chance I can't go, so we've got somebody that can go. So,
Mr Mayor, I think it's appropriate the Deputy Mayor actually is your alternate for that one.
yep. Yep. All right, very good. Councillor Nash.
Oh, Mr Mayor, I'm just wondering why the Deputy General Manager for Infrastructure doesn't go.
He does.
Oh,
Somebody's got to carry your bags. I mean, I don't know. No, he's a definite starter. Yeah. All right. Any further discussion? All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? Carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 20 is modification to DA 2003/0308 Peabody Road, Molong. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Paul. Any discussion on that? My information is it's back before council because it was originally before council, so it's only a minor modification, so it still has to come back to us. Correct? Yep. Any discussion? Everybody happy with that? Right, so it's, I need to show of hands because it's a division, so I'll put that. All those in favour? Unanimous. Against? That's carried unanimously. Item 21 is development application 2025/0082-27, Rodder Drive, Kidal. Move in a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Poole, seconded by Councillor Pearson. Any discussion on this at all?
John, just by way of clarification, Mr Mayor, the recommendation with regard to no zinc, we just clarify for people's benefit as to why.
Yep, all right. So you want clarification on item 3 of the recommendation, which is council not support the request for use of zinc lump shooting for the construction of the proposed storage shed. I thought that you want to take it. Yeah, okay. Russell, could you just come forward and explain item 3, recommendation not to use zinc lump sheeting for the construction of the storage shed, in particular the roofing? Just need you to come forward to the mic and probably sit at that chair if you wish.
Thank you, Mayor. And I think the reason for the recommendation is that council has a policy to discourage the use of zinc lump in that locality. And we have actually adhered to the policy. And if we actually move away from the policy, we'll be creating precedency. So we would actually recommend that we continue to keep the anonymity that we actually want to see in that locality.
Any further comment or question, particularly Russell, in regards to that? Councillor
Mr Mayor, if I could, what do they use instead of the zinc lump? Is it Colorbond?
Colorbond,
Oh, right.
correct, yeah.
Okay.
Mr Mayor, why would that policy be first brought in, do you think?
Well, it's as a report indicated, and I have asked a question about this. I think it was a policy that was made in 1992. Yeah, 1992, and it's to do with the reflection of the zinc lump. There's been a case where zinc lump reflection, the sun reflection, has actually blinded drivers driving along the road, and the zinc lump shed had to be painted, believe it or not, because it was that bad. So I think council implemented a policy back then to have it all, so it's not just the Kidal estate, it's all of our residential villages.
I know of a house that's in the process of being built, and someone lives across the other side of the river, and the reflection from, you know, a kilometre away or so, they find it blinding in the morning, that morning light on it.
Just for clarification there, and I'll be corrected, but it only applies to the residential zoning of our villages, not on farming land. Farming land's not subject to that policy.
Well, that just explains how bad it would be if it was next door to you or just across the road or something.
And there's been a question, just to let you know, there's also a question of the fact that there is zinc lump water tanks, but the water tanks are not subject to this policy. Not subject to this policy. Or any further discussion or comment, question? All right, well, I'll put that. So, and once again, it's a division, so I need to show hands. All those in favour? Against, so it's unanimous. Thank you. Item 22 is questions for next meeting. Could I have a mover and a seconder, please? Moved by Councillor Pearson, seconded by Councillor Ryan. Does anybody have any questions for next meeting? Councillor Ryan or William?
Yeah. I just wanted to find out if we'd had any updates on the Canowindra Caravan Park and the access that was discussed end of last year, I think. There was talk about maybe another way of getting out in case of flood.
Through Mr. Mayor, I can take that on notice and report back to next council meeting.
Thank you. Councillor Weaver.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, also in the caravan park, I did ask at the end of last year sometime, I think, how close we are to getting the cabin on site. Thank you.
Through Mr. Mayor, I can report that it is going very, very well and expected to be completed very shortly, and I will detail that in the same report next month.
Councillor Nash.
I'd just like to congratulate council for the disabled amenities at Manildra, but I just wonder if we could get a report on cargo disabled, because it's not good at all. It's got a wall where you can't even get around to help anybody on a wheelchair, and I'm just wondering whether someone can look at that and get a report back to us and what we can do with that. Thanks.
Noted. Disabled amenities at cargo. Thank you. Anything else? Questions for next meeting? Nope. All right. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 23 is business paper items for noting. Mover and a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Pearson, second by Councillor Batten. Does anybody wish to call out any of those noting items at all? No. All right, all good. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 24 is matters of urgency. Could I have a mover and a seconder first? Sorry. Thanks, Councillor Weaver. Second by Councillor Jones. Does anybody have any matters of urgency? Nope. All right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Item 25 is committee of the whole section of the meeting. We don't have any, but I need a mover and a seconder to progress. Moved by Councillor Poole, seconded by Councillor Batten. I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you, everybody. Now, just draw your attention to our supplementary items, which is item 26. Is everybody with me in the supplementary? Item 26. All right, I'll call item 26 as the Molong Flood Risk Management Study and Plan for adoption. Mover and a seconder. Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor Pearson. Any discussion on that at all? Councillor Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, can I commend this report? And you can start by acknowledging Lyle and Associates for their work in developing the study. But in particular, I want to thank our Deputy General Manager of Infrastructure for his strategic approach to the development of an action plan that sits with this study. One of the criticisms previously of council is that we've had these flood studies and they've either, and this community feedback, sat on the shelf in an office or at the bottom of a drawer. What this action plan does is make sure that we integrate into our delivery program and our operational plan and can show the community what we will be achieving each year, and you know, they can hold us to account in delivering this flood study. So I just wanted to, really acknowledge Matthew and thank him for that. Of course, we've all witnessed the 2022 flood, caused that, and the damage that caused to Molan and right across Cabon. You know, I don't think any amount of mitigation would stop those floods. But in the lead up to that flood, there was a dozen nuisance floods. We've also had a flood 12 months before that, a flood in 2010, 2005. So quite regular floods that cause a considerable amount of not only nuisance but hurt and damage to our community, our businesses and residents. So this plan is quite ambitious, I think. There's some really large ambitious projects there, such as realigning the highway. However, there is some quite high priority projects that we have there in terms of being able to implement flood warning systems, which is something our community has been calling for, and undertake some stormwater drainage work, which will be beneficial. While I understand the community's concerns, and probably before we started this process, I too was a little bit frustrated in terms of how slow the process is, but now having seen it progress over the last couple of years, because we started this before that 2022 flood, having seen it progress over the last couple of years, this study is a much wider study for the Molan catchment, but it has been tested and modelled to ensure that we have projects there that will really benefit the Molan community. And I just want to also thank and acknowledge our Floodplain Management Committee members for their input in this. As a council, of course, we've all committed and are very committed to ensuring we leave no stone unturned to try and deliver this, but we do need the support of our state and federal members and our state and federal governments, and I would implore them to look at, instead of, or to look at between now and hopefully we don't have another disaster, but to really look at funding projects that mitigate and adapt against these natural disasters, so that they're not having to throw money at recovery, they're actually throwing money at the cause, not the problem afterwards. So as I said, I'd implore Andrew G and Phil Donato to support us in getting the funding for this plan. There are some things that council ourselves can deliver, and we've outlined that in the action plan that sits with the study, but there are some things we need some support from with our federal and state members. So thanks, Mr. Mayor, and yeah, look forward to seeing the actions come to light.
Thank you. Councillor Weaver.
Yes, I'd just like to agree with Councillor Jones. What he said is very comprehensive and straight to the point. I just think this study and plan should be commended. We thank the staff and the body that is involved, the community involvement, and I just hope that the Canowindra and Eugowra one is as comprehensive and to the point as this one is. Thank you.
Thank you. Now look, just a quick little addition to that is that what Councillor Jones said was 100% correct, but there's options there. It's very diverse. There's some very, very, very ambitious solutions to that, but there is achievable ones there, and it shows that we can achieve some of those, but we need support and funding. And I'll just draw your attention to the Deputy General Manager, how focused he has been on this, that he, speaking to a politician not long before our meeting, was asking about funding for that particular project. So that's how dedicated he is to this project. And it's quite simple. It's been a long process. Yes, it has been, but this was started before the 22 flood. But the government, and we've already heard that the government's not giving out lots of money, but the government needs these studies, needs this detail before they will give out money. And we've showed them, and this study, as Councillor Jones said, is being modelled and can show the funding body, being the government, because we need the money from the government, that this is what happens and this is what can be achieved through what this study has shown. So, congratulations to that and to the team and obviously to the consultants, and let's hope we can now leverage from this study some funding to help to stop our flooding issues. Any further comment, or if not, I'll put this. All those in favour, say aye. Against, it's carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 27 is development application 2025/0107, Silo Murals, Lot 1, DP 819816, Watson Street, Molong. Move in a seconder, please. Moved by Councillor Batten, second by Councillor Pearson. Any discussion? Councillor Batten.
Just make a quick comment through you, Mr Mayor.
Excuse me.
The proponents of this are to be commended for their perseverance, because they've been actually working on this for a long time. Certainly goes back to at least 2018 that I'm aware of. However, it's also important, I think, that the community and the supporters of it clearly understand the reasons why the conditions are placed on the application. Council doesn't pluck out conditions on the women of fancy. Two critical things with regard to this is the safety of anybody that is actually viewing the artwork, with regard to the railway line, an operating railway line, a very busy one, and also that it is adjacent to a highway. These conditions, if you were not just council conditions, they're actually in consultation with the major manager of both those pieces of infrastructure, Transport for New South Wales. It is not just something that council has dreamt up. It is in direct response to discussions, consultations with the owners, the managers of those two critical pieces of infrastructure with regard to keeping people safe.
Thank you. Any further discussion or comment? Yep, Councillor Weaver.
Could I just ask a question? What about insurance-wise? Who covers the actual painting of the silos and then afterwards the general public?
So just to clarify, you're saying the people that are actually doing the work,
Yeah,
then the people that
come to see it.
tourists can have a look at it.
Yeah.
Deputy General Manager.
We'd have a crack at some of that. I guess the insurance liability with the project will lie with project holder. So if they're commissioning someone to undertake works on that site, that would be the normal insurance process. The land is owned by Rancor, so any responsibility is with them. And it would be business as usual for anyone using the road reserve and the public footpath area.
Any further questions, discussion, comment? Nothing? All right, well, I'll put this, it's a division, so I'll need a show of hands. All those in favour? Against? It's unanimous, carried. Thank you, everybody. Item 28 is the planning proposal for 3732, the Escort Way, Kidal. Move in a second, please. Moved by Councillor Jones, second by Councillor Paul. Any discussion on the planning proposal? Melody? No?
I
Yes,
was just wondering, did they go through the government to change this, or how's this work? So it went from 100 hectare to 0.4 hectare. Yeah, I just don't know.
To you, Mr Chair and Councillor, this is an update. This is a planning proposal that has been presented to Council earlier. It's been going for about 2 years now. It's a rezoning application to rezone land that is currently primary production. They're looking at creating the rear of the lot, retaining it as primary production and using the front part for industrial use. Now, in the previous LEP, 1991, industrial use was permissible in rural land. And so there already are a number of sheds and businesses on that property under the previous LEP. So they're seeking a rezoning to rezone the front half of the property industrial, and with that, a minimum lot size. So it's been part of a planning proposal. The proposal has been put before council. Council has considered it, accepted it to progress. It has been to the Department of Planning under gateway determination. It's been out on public exhibition. We've had no comment, feedback from the community. We're required to consult with RFS. Their comments are back saying okay to proceed. And so this report is just to seek council's reaffirmation to continue with the process. But it is part and parcel of a wider strategy that's previously been reported to council and council supported.
Any further discussion, comment? Right, I'll put that. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. All right, moving to, I'll move out of our ordinary meeting to our confidential close